everyone and welcome to Alfistul. What do we have here?
Well, except from this specimen right here, we have an Alfa Romeo Model GT from 2007, late 2007, early 2009. Right, so as we begin from, let's begin from the front right here. As you can see, the car has a bit of dings and bangs, stone chips and whatnot. She's been running for almost a year and a half in my possession. Right here, the grill.
Right.
Right here, the grills.
The Alfa Scudetto.
The Alfa Scudetto, as
and the Alfa badge. Man, I love this badge.
Those are pretty nice badges and pretty hard to come by these days. We have some chrome trim on the grill and also on the lower grills.
Yep, we can see.
The bumper is specific. The rims are the original from the factory. The GT rims, 17-inch with skinny tires. I do believe they look pretty great.
Yep, pretty nice.
Tires are pretty new. Here we have the side view of the car. We have some stone. Here we have some stone chips and whatnot. Usual wear and tear. She's got an age. Right here we move on to the back.
So it's a hatchback, right?
It's a hatchback coupe.
Yep.
We do have a attempt at a diffuser.
Let's see.
Really, I don't know how much it helps with aerodynamics, but also the fog lights are embedded in the bumper. Here we have a bit of a road rash. I don't know what happened. I found it like this in front.
Yeah, because neighbors and whatnot.
We live in Eastern Europe, so it's alright.
Yeah.
Right, the fuel door and the right side view of the car. It doesn't have the...
So it's a frameless door coupe, as you see.
Yep. The window is self-lowering and rising. Oh, it should rise.
Pretty nice.
Right. The door also closes with a nice clang to it. Pretty satisfying, actually. We have a bit of a ding over there. I don't know how that happened. It's been a pretty stormy time right here in Eastern Europe, as I say.
So what engine does it have?
Right, the engine bay.
Let's see. Come on, open it.
Is to the right side of the bonnet. Up she goes. Right here we have the greasy and sloppy Joe of an engine, the 1.9 JTD engine. Pretty reliable.
It's a diesel, right?
It's a diesel, right?
4-cylinder inline diesel, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty much a travesty to put a diesel engine on an Italian car, but actually this diesel really revs up real nicely. It doesn't have the feel of a diesel. Some friends of mine have told you, is this a petrol engine? Nope, it's a diesel. And with the right tune, it can really put up some
great noises.
Some great noises.
Some vroom vroom noise. Right.
This one hasn't been modified. I didn't mount a modified exhaust or whatnot.
So legend has it has how many horsepowers?
Well, stock is 150 horsepower.
Supposedly this one is like...
it's a bit more than 150.
Let's leave it there.
Yeah,
it's plenty of horsepower.
It's got plenty of horsepowers, indeed. Revs up nicely, has no issues.
What's here?
This is the coolant tank.
Coolant expansion tank, right?
Yep. Pretty
Just
dirty.
like on my 156s.
Yep.
I think it's pretty much the same tank.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same tank.
Yep.
They haven't.
Here's
modified.
the windshield wiper fluid.
If you ever feel yourself like it's a hard spot to reach, well, imagine this: you have to use a funnel, otherwise you can't really put anything in it.
I know.
Or if you're a kung fu master or Shaolin master and can actually bend the water to your will. Right.
Yeah.
Here we have the dipstick, power steering fluid, and brake fluid.
Yeah.
Right here we can see the ABS pump and whatnot. It's a pretty pretty bold engine bay. As you can see, I don't have
Fuse box over here.
Yeah, fuse box, at least that's accessible, but otherwise that we'll talk about when we get to the interior of it. The engine is pretty much bulletproof. You can't really go wrong with it. As a diesel, we all know the reliability of a diesel. No issues whatsoever in so many years of usage, and this car has some really high kilometers in it, a really high count, right? And also, if you keep up with maintenance, you should have no real issues with it
Whatsoever. Yeah. Man, I know Alphas don't have such good how do we put it?
Reliability.
Yeah, everybody says it has reliability issues, but I think they're talking about those cars that were left in the sun,
so
in the wind and rain, in the cold. Yeah.
Well, these nowadays these are made to a specific standard. Now they're all made by robots and whatnot. In the previous years, they were being handmade. That's what made Alphas pretty exclusive, and to a really tight niche market. Well, nowadays everything is automatized.
So let's see the interior. I know this has a pretty special interior, right?
Oh, the interior is something to see.
Right, so let's see the interior now.
Let's move on to the interior. This is the driver's side, the driver's side of the interior.
Because we drive on the right side of the road.
Right, here we have basically the driver's position. Pretty comfy, I might add. The seats, yeah, they've seen their age, but I'm working to restore the interior as well.
Man, just look at this Alpha badge embroidered in the headrest.
Yeah, that's specific to this model, the Blackline series.
Let's see the door sills.
Yeah, the door sills, pretty nice.
Alfa Romeo.
Pretty nice, in good condition so far.
Steering wheel.
Steering wheel has seen its bad days, but still.
Gauge cluster.
Let's see. The gauge cluster, and also it's really nice stylized. Over here, let's take a gander at it. Let's take a gander. Everything is nice and typical Italian red.
Bluetooth connection success.
The typical trademark, as I say, and I think the Italian writing on the gauge cluster is pretty nice on it. It's a nice touch compared to all the European cars we see nowadays. Otherwise, controls for the driver's seat. Here we have lumbar support, that's adjustable, how far back you want to lean, and this is height adjusted. It's height adjusted. Every single bit of it is adjustable.
Yeah.
Right, let's move to the passenger side of it.
As you can see, it's a pretty big door because it's a two-door GT. Let's climb in.
Alright, let's sit ourselves in. Right, driving position is pretty comfortable. I have nothing to add to it. Also, the Bose sound system, the surround sound system, is from the factory and it's specific for this model. Right, here we have the door controls, wing mirrors, and windows. Right here we have, in typical Italian fashion, we have the driver has a mirror which also has a light in it.
Oh, that's nice.
How Italian is that?
Right, so the passenger
the same treatment.
What
for
do you
the
know?
Passenger. Well, it's typical Italian over here. Right, we do have for the central console we have double adjustable climate controls, and this is a bit I like. An ashtray which also has a lighter in it.
Because everybody smoked.
Everyone smoked in that period.
Yeah.
Over here we have a cup holder that fits in nicely into the console, and also a coin storage space. Yes.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Pretty nice. They really thought of it. It's really ergonomic inside.
Except for
the famous armrest, which goes right. I have to lower the handbrake. There we go, holding the brakes. Well, this is all the way down. It has 3 positions.
Yeah.
One is completely and utterly useless. The second one is a bit better, but not much. And the third one, well, the third one is actually usable. Right, so let's see. In this position, you can't really pull on the handbrake all the way. It's pretty much unergonomic. We raise it up a bit. You can also catch your pinky in here if you're not careful. This one is all right. You can reach the shifter pretty comfortably, I might add, but otherwise not really. And the third one, which is the best, and well, I'm not a tall person per se, but this is one I find the most comfortable. You can reach the shifter easily. But yeah, those are the 3 positions: useless, utterly useless, semi-useless, and completely comfortable. Well, depends on how tall you are. Right, the vents are something special in it of themselves. Right, on a standard car, you can live like this, but oh, it doesn't slide from side to side. Well, actually they thought of it, and you can twist it as much as you like.
Yeah, pretty nice.
The same deal on the driver's side. Over here we have the controls for the headlights, for the menu, and whatnot. The traction control, well, I'll get to that later.
Yeah. Glove box,
yes, in typical Italian fashion, everything has a light bulb in it. And fun fact, if one of these light bulbs on the inside, or in the glove box, or in the passenger mirror goes out, you get a warning. Every single light bulb in this car has a warning on it for some reason. Right, here we see the doors, the car's service and instruction manuals, which are the original from the factory.
Oh, just look at that.
Yeah, a little something to hold your paperwork and make it a bit comfy when you get pulled over. I'm not gonna comment on that.
Yeah, leave it there.
This is the instruction manual, and it's all in Italian, but you can find it on the internet translated, which is a bit of a relief. Well, everything is in Italian in here. They have no English
Como
section.
se dice pizza?
Mamma mia!
Si.
Everything is in Italian, but otherwise it's pretty accessible online to find it. Also, the service manual is in Italian. The warranty, everything, well, it's not available anymore, so we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, the back seat, let's see it again.
This is
what do we have
the front
here?
view of the rear seats. We'll get to those later a bit. Right. Now, for the longest of time, I've wondered what this is. Well, in the series, like 2003, 2004, this is where the differential control and the traction control were located, instead of being located on the left side of the steering wheel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, those were located here, and also they really thought of it, and instead of removing it entirely, they kept a coin holder, which is pretty nifty. Well, it's pretty nifty.
Comes in handy. Otherwise, for the front end, we have airbags in the seats as well. Curtain airbags right here. And
passenger airbag.
Passenger side airbag, yeah.
Yeah, passenger side airbag, and also there are airbags in the seats. You can see it on the right side of the passenger seat up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to
over
have
there.
those.
Yeah.
You don't. You know they're there, but you never want to use it. As
exactly.
They say.
Yep.
As for the front end, well, we have plenty of storage space right here in the armrest. Well, I have all kinds of papers. This opens, you can have some storage space inside, and also there are pretty nice door pockets. As you can see,
yeah,
there's various
see it
things
over
in
here.
there. Yeah, there's various things over there. Haven't had there's a chance to throw everything out. All right. Rear view mirror, standard business as usual. There's not much else to tell. She flips over like so. Over here we have the rain sensors and I think light sensors. I'm not sure of it.
Some cars really had front end light sensors, so they can toggle the headlights when traveling at night if there's a car coming from the opposite sense. Right, that's about it for the front end. Oh yeah, the original head unit, nothing much. They did have screen navigation, but by even 2003 standards, that was pretty much obsolete. So I opted to keep my cup holders.
It's much more practical that way, because everybody needs a drink on a long trip.
Yeah, I agree with that. And otherwise you'd have to sacrifice this part over here like so. The navigation was pretty small, was CD based. Nothing much. It was pretty much obsolete by the time it came in.
But right now in 2021 we all use our phone apps.
Yeah, we all use our phones to navigate. Who doesn't do that? Anyway, the original head unit, cup holders, everything is pretty much standard business, and the details on the gauge clusters are also real nice. Here we have fuel, speedo, kilometers and whatnot, and also I like the fact that everything is written in Italian, which makes
I haven't noticed it.
Yeah, which really makes a nice touch, a really nice touch for it. Otherwise, leather interior, leather seats.
I'm gonna show it once more. It's pretty nice leather.
Pretty nice.
Thick,
leather.
Two-tone color.
Which is
black and
rare.
cream.
Everything's pretty rare on this kind of aspect.
I just love this embroidery right here.
Yeah, the embroidery is real nice. It's really something else. Really sets it apart. Right, let's move on to the rear side. We move on to the rear end of the car, and specifically as we are on the interior, we move to the back. Now, as you can see, the same tradition with the front. There's nothing much different. As we can see, right, let me get in here. Up we go. In the rear, well, I'm not a very tall person by myself. Right, here comes my mate, he tries to fit in. But with the driver's seat in this position, I can really stretch my legs. Well, it's an issue if you're taller.
If you're like 1.80 m.
I have
like
about this space to the ceiling. I don't have much space, and my head takes on most of it. But otherwise, lengthwise, this has been thought. It's a coupe that has been thought with people that actually have legs. I can sit in pretty comfortably behind myself, which I really take the seat all the way back.
So what do we have there?
Here we have a speaker, a secondary speaker, and as always in typical Italian fashion, we have an ashtray, both sides, I might add.
For your kids.
You want to start them early. That was a strange time. Otherwise, here we have more airbags.
A coat hook right there.
A coat hook right here. More airbags, adjustable seat belts, which goes on
for
like
the driver
this, and also for the passenger.
Over here we have central armrest.
A central armrest, which is also leather.
Pretty nice, as it's supposed to. Do we have a trunk pass-through?
Yeah, we have a trunk pass-through, which goes on by like this, and this one opens some way, I think. Well, this thing opens in simpler words. The headrests for the rear passengers also go up and down. As you want.
This one,
the central one as well, goes up and down. You can actually fit 3 people behind, as long as they're not very tall. I really have tall friends, and they complained a lot on every single pothole. But otherwise, even if you're bigger as a person, you can fit in pretty nicely. It's a lot of space really for a coupe, but really takes down the car as it's an extra weight, pun intended. I've seated more than three people in the back I've had a fourth one in the front because he kept complaining because everything is so tiny inside, tiny windows. If you're claustrophobic, you're gonna have some real issues with whomever drives, and even if they drive a bit slowly, you can get nauseous if you're claustrophobic or have
motion sickness.
Motion sickness, yes.
Yep.
Right. That's about it for the rear side. Everything, as you can see, is not been used very much. No one sits in the back. Also, the passengers have an extra comfort in the form of a vent that can be turned on and off. Yep, that, and also rotates. Yeah.
Awesome.
They do have some ventilation. We gave them this luxury.
Yep.
Also, pockets for the seats, which,
as you can see.
Yeah.
So let's do the trunk right now.
Let's do the trunk. Let's see. Onto the trunk. Here it is. To release the trunk, you actually have to go inside or have the key at hand, which I have neither of those. So there we go. The trunk release is on the central console. It's a button, but you can also release it with the key, which I had inside. Over here we have some some washer fluid, always handy. And here's the
pretty big space.
Pretty big space. I do have a cover for it so I wouldn't stain it or whatever. As you can see from the stuff I have in here, I haven't really had a chance to clear it out. There's pretty much a lot of space left if you have some organizational skills. Right, here we have some door pack and some side pockets. Duct tape, always useful for an Alfa.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Always useful, and a bit of storage for some tools. Right here we have, under this we have the spare. It's
a full spare, or
it's a small spare. It's a small wheel type of spare. Yeah. The pioneering kit as usual. Always nice to have.
So the back seat folds like 60-40%.
Back seats fold almost completely.
Oh, so you can carry like your furniture.
Yeah, I did that when I moved out. It's alright. And also there's a special thing in the trunk. Here we have the Bose subwoofer, which comes standard from the factory.
That's lit.
That's pretty much why people buy it. It's a Bose surround system with a integrated subwoofer from the factory. Right here we have the rear light, as per standard fashion. The hatch is huge. You can really fit things that are bigger than it really easily. And when it closes, as you can see, it's pretty much very arched. So there's plenty of storage space, even for myself, which always carries around a lot of things.
So, what do you say? Well, should we go for a quick drive around the parking lot?
Sure thing. Hop right in.
Let's go.
Standard procedure for starting the car. You can wait for, well, it's pretty nifty because it shows you the oil level. The microphone is interfering with the Bluetooth.
Purrs like a cat.
Purrs like a kitten. Now, the car started. As you can see, it's very silent. Let's take a drive around the parking lot. Yeah.
Steady as she goes.
Yeah. I was gonna touch on this. The car is real stiff. It's not made for roads like this. On the highway, it's something else. Pretty civilized. No big issues. Let's take a quick tour around the. Now, for power distribution, this is front wheel drive with a limited slip diff, which has from the factory. Pretty time, even in the winter. There's no big issues whatsoever. Fuel consumption is pretty good. Still, it's a diesel. It's not a petrol engine.
That's like guzzling petrol.
Yeah, that's guzzling petrol. The 1.6 and 1.8 really.
2.0 spark engines, man.
And
those things.
Yeah, those things really.
But drink a lot.
Drink a lot. Like, they're really thirsty engines. Well, you can make them work. There's no big issues. 63-liter fuel tank. As you can see, the suspension has been changed. Like, we have the full IBAC kit swapped, and well, as you can see how stiff it is. The Q2 differential.
It feels.
It's very stiff, but really nice in the corners due to those fat tires. The Q2 differential came from the factory. and it cannot be toggled off. Right, let's try something here. Traction control always off, and you can see the power as soon as that turbo kicks in.
She pulls.
Yeah, she pulls, she spun the tires a bit, but the Q2 diff really keeps a real time. Let's get on to the straight line. The Q2 diff really keeps it nice and civilized, even with traction control off. I call the traction control off the front button. Now we are in first gear. Down the parking lot, there's nothing I can hit, and as soon as I hammer it, she can really pull.
She goes.
Yeah, the traction control I recommend always to stay on, even with the Q2 differential.
Yep, leave it there.
Even with the Q2 diff, the car is really civilized. Can pull real nicely, and also, oh my god, it's gotten hot in here. The car can pull real nice even without traction control, but I recommend leaving it on. The differential, you cannot toggle it on or off, so that's about it. Now for maintenance, well, this is the crucial part. Most Alfa Romeos fall apart due to poor maintenance, especially on the petrol engines. Even with the Revere, the V6 Pusso engine, you need always to be on time with oil changes. I changed mine a bit earlier than it's specified in the book. Oil changes,
power steering. The same.
Yeah, power steering fluid always.
All the fluids
need to be changed on time. Timing belt is due at about 50,000 kilometers. I don't know what's that in miles.
Right.
You don't want it to snap.
So what advices do you have for guys who want to buy an Alfa Romeo GT right now?
For a GT, I really recommend one which has been taken care of. Like
start from something good.
Yeah, start from something good. Usually what's cheap, it's too good to be true. It happened to me, it happened to other people.
To me as well.
If you get a real cheap one, you need to look out for rust at the door seals, engine knock, especially on the 1.6 engines. They start to knock, they start to break down, especially if they haven't had their oil changed. Also keep some oil in the trunk if you have a petrol one, because they are known for eating their own oil. You need to look out for that. Also the diesel engine, I know it's pretty much a travesty, but you need to keep the oil changed. They're very dependent on it. It doesn't chew oil, it doesn't digest itself, but otherwise, that's a big concern if the oil is old. Also the shock absorbers need to be nice and clean, not to be rusted. The shock absorber pan can get rusted and the suspension can fall through. That's pretty much the big ifs and buts, but still it's a nice car. You can find it for cheap, and it's a lot of car for really nice money.
I think it's awesome. If I wouldn't have the 156, I would certainly buy an Alfa Romeo GT, because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of car. It's a lot of car for very little money.
So thank you for showing us this car.
No worries. It was my pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day. Take care of yourselves and take care of your cars.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.